There we go. Was I recording? There we go. So now I know I'm recording, so I come back over here. I get to the right spot. Just 1 second. Just want to make sure that we get to exercise 4, exercise 5. And so we come over here, we continue the recording. In my program, once I've got the string indicator on the front panel for instructions, on the block diagram, if I go back over to my presentation, which is here, I want to tell the person don't shoot or shoot. Did these two statements ever change over the course of the game? Am I ever going to tell him to, pour water on someone? No. So these two things, even though I'm going to pick one or the other, those two choices never change. So they're going to be constants. They're going to be hold strings. They're going to be constants. So I go back to the block diagram and I try to find a string constant. And you can imagine that they would be under strings. Here's a string constant. So I can say shoot the ball. That's going to be if 7 is false. And I'm going to say don't shoot. Those are my two options. How do I select between these two different options to go into that one holder of data, that one indicator? I can use a comparison tool called select. It's just like a switch. If I hit Control H, you can see that information will go from T out to S question mark, which is my solution, if S input, which is my selection criteria, is true. So if a true comes in on this green wire, the top item goes to the output. If a false comes in on this green wire, the bottom input goes to the output. Does that make sense? It's a switch. You're either putting true on the wire or you're putting the false input on the wire. Make sense? We'll try it out in a second. So my selection tool now has 3 inputs. I've got to have a true solution. Don't shoot. That's if my if my height is greater than 7. Don't shoot. We're too high. And then shoot the ball under a false condition. That's going to go out to my instruction set, my instruction indicator. Where do I get the input to this selector? Yeah? So this tells me whether my height is greater than 7 or not. So the data right here can be reused. I can reuse that right there. So now, if this condition is true, I send a don't shoot to my user, and if it's false, I send shoot the ball. Let's run that program. So what we've done here is we have decided to pass information differently under different circumstances. So this is what I would call information selection decision making. And we can test and we see that that works. Don't shoot and then shoot the ball. Do you think you have enough information to do this? You're going to put a string indicator on the front panel. You're going to put 2 string constants on the block diagram and the select function. And I'm going to help you by right-clicking and making the labels on these functions visible so that you can see what the functions are called. So if you need to search for it, it's called select. Have at it.